Welcome to another episode of Not for the Weak-Minded. Now, today we're doing something completely different away from a new theory on life, as I need to take a break from that for a minute. We're going into the government plans to teach the primary school kids in this country about equal rights with LGBT. Now, I'm not going to go into this government file. You know, I'll link it up. You can read it yourself. I recommend you do. But the problem is this obviously paints it out as something as a good thing, which you need to read between the lines, which I'm trying to show you now how to do. So the next article is the Mail Online, and this is exactly what they're going to be pushing. You know, why lesbian and gay people have mental problems and they're not accepted into this society, when things behind closed doors don't affect any single one of us, really, does it? But they're pushing this into the minds of the youth, and particularly the primary school, which is quite frankly very, very scary and dangerous, because if you understand what I'm trying to show you in a minute, this can lead to split personalities, more mental disorders, and other issues. So we'll just get a little bit into the article itself, but mostly I'm just going to go through the article titles and speak a little bit about it, and then it's up to you, really, the individual, to seek the truth and have passion in your heart to know what's really going on in the world, and to find out, you know. And obviously I know a lot of people are busy, they got work, but this is part of the distraction, you know. I mean, like, you literally have to dedicate your life to finding out who the enemy is, why they're doing the things they're doing, and when you become fully aware of this, you actually align yourself with higher vibrational frequencies, and therefore you're aligning yourself with the creators, which I'm trying to prove, you know, creation is very real in the geological landscape. So moving on, basically by 2020 they're going to be putting this into the schools, and you can, you know, read through this article and how they're going to make it a good thing, and, you know, and yeah, they're going to teach about these things, but at the end of the day it's going to cause more problems, more and more problems. And I'll ask you a simple question: at what age should you be talking to a kid about sex? Now, primary school, they shouldn't even be worried about it. They're children, they have no idea what it is, really. Why, you know, you should be teaching these things to them. Let them be, man. They're kids, you know. They'll have plenty of time when they're older to decide if they want to change their gender or not, after, you know, seeing the world around them anyway, because this is the way it's been going. I mean, at the end of this, what I hope you kind of get is this is to do with Freemasonry and their ideologies and beliefs, and how they've inverted everything. They've lied to us about everything, and they've inverted reality to the point now where they're trying to make boys girls and vice versa. You know, it's going against the creation. You know, we're meant to be with male and female. That's who we are, you know. That's what we're born with. I know you can like both sexes, you know, you can even love both sexes, but at the end of the day you're still born with what you got, you know. And a lot of the times there's a misunderstanding within the world itself that sometimes these things are meant to happen in our lives, and it's meant to test us. And those people that are falling for these agendas, that weren't gay, that then turned out to be gay, for example, they failed that test big time, because they're not standing up morally to anything, really. You know, just going along like sheep because everyone else is. You know, alright, you can have feminine men and masculine women. Still doesn't make them, you know, still makes them female male. It's just using stereotypes for years and years and years to make people think that just because they're a little bit girly makes them gay. You know? Or vice versa, butch women. It's not the case, you know. Next article. So more, you know, the doctors say, yeah, it's a great thing. We should be teaching this in schools. Absolutely great. No problems whatsoever. It's going to be great. Yeah, they're going to learn about sex at a younger age, and then they're going to go out and you know, not like they're learning it already at 12 anyway. You know, they've got a phone in their hand, and not stupid. It's everywhere. You can't get away from it. But essentially, this is part of, you know, what they're doing, why they're doing it. And there are so many things that are associated with this to do with paedophilia and the elite, and again, Freemasonry. It has to be stopped. But it's not going to be, you know. This is the fall of man, fall of grace, you know. These are the last children. You know, once these children go through this stuff, man, that's the degradation of humanity is over. But yeah, they've put all these things in place, ready for it. And who's running these organisations anyway? You know, when you actually go and look, who's paying for these things? And where the connections are, so where the money goes, and exactly that. You'll know that it's an agenda. You know, you'll know that it's nothing to do with trying to make society a better place. In fact, it's the opposite. You know, like I said, it's trying to degrade society, you know, from God, or from the gods, you know, or the supercomputer what we live in. You know what I mean? This is why you see signs and symbols, you know, and synchronicity and numbers and stuff. I mean, it is literally, you know, the machine speaking back to you. You know, like Elon Musk said it himself about, if we created a virtual reality today to the point now where we would not recognize or know that we are actually in a virtual world, it would look absolutely the same as what we would perceive our world to be now. And he just posed the question, well, couldn't we have already be in a machine then? And that is a very good point, because a lot of the evidence, if you look closely at what's really going on, again, when you read between the lines of what one's saying and what the other is saying, you kind of get to the middle ground of, oh, hang on a minute, there's something to that, and there's something to that, and then, yeah, you go, boom, right, okay. But it takes years to know the enemy in the first place, you know, to know that you're under attack in mind, body and spirit, particularly now with the chemtrails and the Wi-Fi, you know, and what's to come with the 5G and the chip. I mean, technology is not our friend, people, you know, it really isn't. It's never going to be, and if it was, the world we would live in would be an amazing place, because we have built some crazy stuff. We are the creators in this world. They can't create shit, unfortunately, but the things we create help them along, and those that try and help humanity along, they get took, you know, they get hidden away, the pans get stowed away, never to be seen again, people imprisoned, murdered, you name it, so they can just keep power. And people are waking up to reality very quickly, and they have a very fine time to execute their plans, because if this ascension keeps taking place at the speed it is, where everyone's waking up to know the enemy and to know that they've been lied to about every single thing, and to know their devices about, you know, the technology, and it's happening, you know, but they are shit scared, of us. We have got all the power. We create everything for them. You know, if we turn around and we had a massive revolution, they wouldn't stand a chance. We build everything, and we can rebuild anything. So this is why they want to destroy us. This is why mass genocide is coming, because they're running out of time to control us, to keep control over us, over everything, you know. And unfortunately, World War III is on the horizon, you know. I don't know when it's going to start, you know, but where it's going to start particularly, I mean, South America is looking likely, but Syria and the Middle East just as much. With Israel, you know, if you looked at their plans, they're going to bomb the fuck out of the Middle East. I'm telling you now. And it's coming soon. And it's the same with what's going on with, you know, Venezuela and OPEC. And I mean, if you really know what's going on, check out Florida Mackey, really. I mean, that's where I get most of my information from in regards to what's going on in Venezuela, at least. So, people getting angry now because they've put in toilets without telling the parents, you know. And there's a lot more of that, a few more articles like this, where people are just pissed off, you know. They've had enough. Why are you fucking doing this to our children? There's no need for it. And yet, you know, they're going to do it anyway. You can't even take, you know, I can show other articles where people have took their kids out of school and got fined, obviously, where, you know, the government literally want both you parents to work so that they can take control of your children, which is why the economy is the way it is, why we both parents literally have to work, you know, unless you're well off, you know. And the only place you're ever going to learn anything, really, if you had good parents, is at home. You know, you learn more at home than you could ever do at school, you know. So if I had kids, which I'd love to have one day, but never could bring them up into this world, they would be self-educated at home, you know. You can fuck your fines, stick it up your ass. I'm not taking them, they're not going, you know what I mean? You're not being brainwashed into a false perception of reality, you know, because that's what's going on, big time, and that incorporates your beliefs into this world as well. And then when you say things that people don't believe in, which are true, you know, and basically they go like, oh, don't believe in that, and yet you show them article or whatever, and then so again, it's up to them whether they want to continue seeking that knowledge or not. But most of the time they go, nah, it's not real, even though you could show them it's real, you know, in many cases. So it's up to the individual, really, you know, whether they want to know the truth or not. And certain people are certainly not meant to see it. They're being, you know, totally controlled and manipulated, and they can't even break away from the mind control of the system in which we live in, you know, the greatest show on earth, the showman of the Freemasonry and the secret societies. So more anger over drag queens telling storytelling in Bristol primary school. So, you know, people are getting angry, and about right, you know, because this has a lot more deeper meanings, again, to secret societies and paedophilia and the government, you know, and their agendas to basically, one, depopulate the planet, two, basically destroy all morals and corrupt the seed of man and woman, essentially, you know. That's exactly what's going on. But people, I just want you to see it, you know. I want people to see it, because you know, the rainbow, for example, you know, this is their symbol, you know. The unicorn, another LGBT symbol. But like I said, you should read all these articles about mental illness and child abuse, which is coming next, and about gender dissociative disorders from same-sex behaviours, and dissociative identity disorders. So although this may seem dark and not nice to hear. This really does go on every day, and it's going on right now. But children that are sexually abused have dissociative identity disorders. They have multiple personalities. Now, the most people think, like, for example, celebrities, they're great, and and they idolize them and stuff. They don't know that they've actually been through that themselves. That they are actually traumatized children that have been brought up into Freemasonry and were abused as children to now have multiple personalities and break down often, in front of the TV cameras. People don't see the connection between child abuse and celebrities, and how these people are just as... I feel sorry for them, because at the end of the day, what child really needs to go through all that? No child asks for that, surely. That's it. But this is how they work. This is how they operate. So, the biggest child trafficking rings in the world are the government. And unfortunately, it's big business for these groups that are literally around the world. And it's not just, it's the Catholic Church, it's the fucking Muslims. I'm not saying all fucking Muslims are paedophiles, because they're not. But the hierarchy of the organisations, Scientology, Mormonism, they're all paedophilic. Every single one of them. But they make you believe that they do good, and unfortunately, most people do not see the evil through philanthropy. They think, well, this person's amazing, they've donated this fucking much, and they're a great person because they did this for a cause, not knowing that they're the ones that are actually causing all the problems in the first place. George Soros, fucking lady, he was a fucking woman, trans. I'm going to show you another trans at the end of this. And they're all at it. Now I've got another video to do after this. I'm going to get on with it. And that is also to do with trans and Freemasonry and Churchill. But we'll get into that. That's the next video. So, there's no escape from the Tories' LGBT school agenda, is there? Don't look like it. What's it going to do to children's minds? Apart from abuse them. Now, I don't know if you've heard of Desmond is Amazing. Now, he's a trans kid. Now, obviously, this is his website. He clearly did this all by himself, didn't he? He wrote all of this manifesto and what he's all about and what's his projects. And yeah, this kid fucking did it all. Did he help? He had help. People behind him, which are the Freemasons. He's a never unfortunate victim of child abuse. And this is exactly what they're going to do to school children in the near future. By 2020, after that, this is it. Degradation of society. You're going to have boys that are dressed as girls, and they're going to not know really what's going to happen until it hits them, and they're going to have serious mental problems, split personalities, suicidal problems, you name it, drug addiction. Those eyes there, they look like the eyes of an abused child to me. You can see straight into his soul. Poor kid. Help these children, man. So fucking painful. So, dark web, largest paedophile site was secretly run by police. Oh, there you go. Funny enough. Look into the CIA and paedophilia. Human trafficking. LGBT History Month. Okay, so who's running this then? Should we look? This serpent, this man, Sue Sanders, funny enough. But I can tell you now, it's a man, alright? Not a woman. You gotta basically look past the voice. If you ever watch the video which these screenshots are from, ignore the voice. Because he is a Freemason, transgender man, Alright. Computer doesn't like me showing that one. I'll come back. Nevertheless, and he's promoting LGBT for lesbians and gays and that, and at the end of the day, right, the signs and symbols, which I was going to show you there if it wasn't messing around, unfortunately it's gone, so I'm going to have to reload it. And their actions within these within their videos themselves, these elite, they do it, they all do it. So they all stick out the tongue. Now, I was trying to do it myself, because a friend of mine said, well, you know, they're just wetting their mouth, you know, they're licking their lips. And I'm just thinking, well, I've been chatting now for 21 minutes, and I have not fucking stuck my tongue out like that. Because guess what? It is a action. You have to do that, literally. You can't do it while talking. You fucking stuck, your tongue stays in your mouth. So that is an action to do that. A voluntary action. So, what else do we see? Now, again, if you watch the video, this clip, I will link it up. Or you can just Google it yourself. Interview with Sue Sanders, co-chair of Schools Out and LGBT History Month. It's a man. Can you not see that that's a man? Clear as day to me, but people, you know, people would hear the voice and not analyze the image and take their time to look carefully, because that's a man. Can you not see that's a man? Right? So Sue Sanders is a man, and if you look at his jacket and the colours, it's black and white. So he's got the Freemasonry colours on. And if you also look behind, you've got the stars and you've got the red and white for sacrifice. And that's another Freemason colour and symbolism. So you've got the tongue, and I just took that for the ring. Then you've got the 666, sign of the beast, sticking out his tongue again, sticking out his tongue again, never 666. So this man slash trans is a Freemason, wearing the Freemason colours, doing his demon serpent tongue, and doing the 666 with the symbolism of the star and the black and white symbolism and the red and white symbolism behind him. Clear as day, Freemason, right? Clear as day. Can't, you know, if you don't know these people and you don't know what they're up to, you're not going to get that. You're not going to understand. But fucking Freemason, clear as day. Man, now a woman, pushing trans agendas on the children so that they can fuck their minds up even more and degrade humanity. I've had enough. I really have. It's disgusting. So not only that, but they're trying to get rid of marriage and, you know, the sacredness of love itself. Love making, you know, you watch porn, it is literally authorised rape. It may as well be. It's not love. Love is a sacred act, you know, between two people. Sex is a sacred act. Marriage is a sacred act. So, I said earlier about them depopulating and stuff. Now, there's a lot of people that, because they don't see that the population itself, numbers-wise, is a lie, they're going to continually believe that the Earth is already too overpopulated, and that we need culling, and that, well, whatever, innit, a few million here ain't gonna bother. You know, as long as it doesn't affect me in my country, you know, fuck everyone else. Well, I've got news for you. The population is nowhere near that, probably half. Alright? So the notion that we need to kill people because it's overpopulated, again, is an agenda by them to make you believe that it's alright to kill people. you know, because it's part of the problem. When they're all the time the cause of every single problem that we have. Because they've divided us to the point where we can't think for ourselves. They've brainwashed us to the point where we don't think ourselves. We continually do the work for evil, morally not standing up for it. Well, to the point now, you know, when other things I showed you about Google, Dragonfly, and employees stepping down from there because they've finally got it, that they're working for evil. We're all working for evil, you know. I'm working for evil. I don't fucking like it. Morally, it goes. Most things in my life morally go against it. Unfortunately, there's nothing I can do with it. You know, it's just acceptance of the fact that these things are going on. You know, why is sperm count down? And you know, why are we suffering needlessly? Why is cancer on the rise? Why is dementia on the rise? Why is there fucking fluoride in the water? Why is there poison in our food? Why there's only 7 or 6 companies control all resources? Ask yourself, because they want a new world order? Fucking right they do. They keep talking about it, but no one seems to tune in. And yet World War III is going to be part of that. It's already written. Albert Pike. Anyway, thank you for watching. Very angry show today. Goodbye. Share and like, subscribe.